Welcome to Top 5 Best. Everything changes eventually, and fruit is no exception to this rule. Here are 5 different fruits that have changed either in reputation or in their entirety. 5 fruits, nuts, and vegetables you did not know were man-made. Number 5. Watermelon. The watermelon has not always been smooth and red once opened up. How is this known? Well, the artist Giovanni Stonci painted a variety of fruit, including that of a freshly cut watermelon. It only takes a glance at the painting to notice that the watermelon depicted looks vastly different to the more modern versions of the fruit. This is because since the 17th century, it has been domesticated and selectively bred to produce as much food as possible. Another vital change that has occurred is the change in color from a dark shade to a brighter, more vibrant red. Through Stonci's painting, the fruit has been perfectly preserved for hundreds of years, if only an image. Number 4. Apples. Whilst many of the fruits on this list differ greatly to the form that they once took, the common apple shares many traits with its predecessor. It is in taste that it differs so greatly, as the fruit that we regularly purchase from our supermarkets is far sweeter than what could be found prior to the domestication of the apple. Whilst few facts are known about the beginning of this fruit's specific timeline, one detail that has survived is the fact that it once tasted far more sour than it does today. One very important factor it does share in common with its predecessor is the deadliness of its pips. Apple pips contain a chemical that converts to cyanide in the human body and so should be avoided in large quantities. Number 3. Eggplant. The eggplant has a rich and varied history, during which they have taken the form of many different colors and sizes. Whilst the modern eggplant is commonly known to be purple, previous incarnations of the fruit have been green, yellow and white. One key difference between the modern and the former eggplant is the fact that it used to contain a rather prominent spine that ran from the bottom of the fruit to the root. This aspect has been abandoned for similar reasons as to why the watermelon became fuller and larger, to allow for more food to be taken from each crop. They used to be far rounder, similar to the shape of a tomato, rather than being a large, long fruit that they are today. Number 2. Blueberries. In the majority of berries grown in the U.S. exist small transparent worms. These bugs began to appear in these fruits in 2008 and are known to scientists as Drosophilus azuki, an edible worm that are no harm at all. Over time, these worms grow into a particular type of fruit flies, unless eaten, of course. Once again, these animals are harmless. The worms are small and white, often described as essentially transparent, and they only become fruit flies once the fruit has rotted, allowing the worms inside to drop below into the soil. They may be an issue to farmers, but to everyday fruit pickers the worms are not a problem. They can be consumed as any other fruit can be, without issue. Number 1. Kiwi. Many associate the kiwi with New Zealand, but in reality the fruit originated in China. It was simply a marketing trick that transferred the credit to the South Pacific nation, which went so far as to change the name of the fruit in question. Originally, the kiwi was known as the Chinese gooseberry, which in its original Chinese meant the macaque fruit. Macaques are a type of monkeys found throughout Asia specifically, and it was their love for the kiwi that resulted in it being named after them. The adoption of the kiwi by New Zealand has been referred to as a botanical hijack, since it involved seeds being brought into the country from China, initially by Mary Isabel Fraser in 1904, who gave them to a New Zealand farmer who planted them and tended to the tree. It was not until 1910 that the first kiwis grew in the country, and it was only 50 years after that they were rebranded as kiwi fruit, in 1959.